I have my dream like to have my own company, to be working, to have the house, to be with Bruna and my husband. When I left Brazil and I got up north, that's where my dream was. And I worked hard so many years to have that, but it was so many hours and I didn't have time really to focus on my family until I got sick. I remember the prayer I'd say, God, you can take everything from me, but don't take my life and my child. Just let me live to raise her. So it was me and Bruna and God and Jesus. My husband, he went to Brazil to start to the project to open the company. He met a girl. She was the age, I believe, in that time, 21 years old. He never came back. He was gonna take care of his mom and open a business, but it wasn't like that. It was just lies. For me, it was just struggling to keep the business going here. It was very hard because in that moment I was really literally losing the house. The house went foreclosure.
I realized that he wasn't coming back. I was angry all the time. I just wasn't behaving at school, basically. I was kind of distancing myself from God. I had a teacher named Miss Veit, and she would always just encourage me to keep going on and never to give up, but I still felt abandoned. And moving from house to house, it just made everything just worse because I felt like I was never gonna be able to just stay in one place.
I thought that I was bringing all this suffering to my daughter. I did something wrong to God. I want to figure out what I did wrong to God to make up with God. I was gonna draw Bruna off of CCGS. Say I can afford. I don't have money even to buy food. I didn't have a place to live. And then when Bruna came in, she looked at me serious and then she started, do you know that Joe was a good man? And God allowed Satan to test him. So Mommy, you don't need nothing to God. He's testing us. So that was the point then. And she started to pray then herself. She said, Heavenly Father, I want to be in CCA and I want to leave. I have all my friends, my teachers, and I want to be here, so can you provide for them?
I remember after I prayed, that's when God started just working everything into our life. He was always there for me and that He always provided no matter what.
God did a miracle. A family stepped in and they're gonna sponsor Bruna. They're gonna sponsor Bruna for the balance that you have and for the next year. So basically God put His hand, a family step in for my child, and I keep praying for that, but I don't know who they are.
I went on the Bahamas missions trip. Even with all the fundraisers and all the saving, it just didn't add up to the amount I needed. And then a family stepped in the beginning of the year to provide for a student to go on the Bahamas trip. It just made my whole world, basically, because I got to see all the kids in the orphanages and see how they didn't have a family or anyone to back them up. And when I saw how happy they were, I just felt so bad. I felt so convicted because I always pitied myself, oh, my dad left me, I should be upset, but looking at their faces, it was no reason for me to be angry with God or be angry with my own father. So on the trip, I just forgave him. I just gave it all to God.
2011, they say you need to do a surgery to shrink the big fibroid that I have, and I was bringing all the sickness to my body. I still struggle. They still different doctors now doing research for how to help me to get better.
When I found out that I had skin cancer, it just really opened my eyes. I was able to catch it earlier in the age that I am now. It was just such a blessing because it just showed that he was there and he was gonna make sure everything was gonna be okay.
I'm very passionate about helping people. So I went through to the biblical counseling program with Pastor Chinelli, and that is my next step.
My goal right now for freshman year is just to give it my all, glorify God through the whole process. My life verse basically is Job 23:10. He knows the way that I take, and when I've been tested, I shall come forth as gold. And it just means a lot to me when I hear that verse.